Morning, church. Prophet Chad. Here about a week ago, I guess, I did something I call Storytime. And that one was about Jesus and the 10 lepers. Well, you want to know something? It's story time. I hope you enjoy, but most of all, I hope it just blesses your socks off. The night they brought these two new prisoners in, I didn't even look up at first. Chains rattled, a guard cursed. Someone groaned as the cell doors slammed shut. I'd learned that paying attention to new prisoners only made the hours seem longer. We were all the same, in the dark, forgotten men, waiting for morning. But this particular night, close to midnight, I heard singing. Not the rough, half-mad muttering that some prisoners use to keep fear away. This was different. It was steady, clear, like they weren't trying to escape the darkness, but weren't afraid of it either. At first I was annoyed. Who sings in a place like this? Their backs were bleeding. I had heard the guards laughing about it. Feet locked in stocks, no chance of freedom. And still, singing? But I felt compelled to press my face closer to the bars. They weren't singing about themselves, nor were they singing about injustice or revenge. They sang about God, about faithfulness, about joy that didn't depend on chains. Their voices echoed through the stone and iron, and slowly the prison grew quiet. Even the men who never stopped talking fell silent. Then I felt something uncomfortable rise in my chest. Hope, maybe? Or longing? I had prayed once, long ago, before everything went wrong. I hadn't thought God could hear me in a place like this. Then the ground shook, and it wasn't a small tremor. The walls groaned, dust fell from the ceiling, chains clanged like bells. I was thrown to the floor, certain the prison would collapse and bury us all. But when the shaking stopped, I realized something impossible had happened. My chains were loose. So were everyone else's. Our cell doors stood open, wooden beams split clean through. For one wild moment, though, no one moved. Freedom was right there, one step away. We all knew what escape would mean if we were caught. But still, my heart hammered in my chest. I was ready to run. All the other prisoners were chattering and carrying on. It was chaotic. Then I heard a voice cut through all the chaos. Don't harm yourself. We're all here. He was shouting to the jailer, who had drawn his sword, thinking we had fled. And somehow, and this is the part I still don't understand, we stayed. All of us. I watched the jailer fall to his knees, trembling harder than any prisoner I had seen. I saw the two new prisoners, bloody, bruised, and now free. Comfort him instead of running past him. That night, the man who had locked their chains washed their wounds. He asked them about the God they sang to. By morning, he believed. So did I. I didn't escape that prison with my feet, but something else was unlocked. I learned that night that freedom can sing from the deepest darkness, and when it does, Even stone walls have to listen. This was the story of Paul and Silas singing their praises while in prison, told from the perspective of one of the other prisoners. This story itself can be found in Acts chapter 16, starting in verse 16. Love you all.